What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. In this particular video, y'all, we'll be reviewing Black Ink Cruise Chicago Season 1. What is this, Episode 7? And shout out to my YouTube family. I'm on YouTube family. You like what you see, whatever. Content, whatever. Subscribe! And like and share this video, y'all. Now, anyways, what I wanted to talk about is, now, this thing could be said, he says versus he. It's a man versus cat, or I looked at Instagram, whatever, seen some shit, and you got it, people coming. I looked at Ryan's and Cat's both Instagram. He had a post not too long ago, last week or the week before last, where they're still cool, whatever. And then he even had the tap that she did at the convention, the Freedom one we didn't get to see on the screen. Then she has tats even the last couple days. It's been months since they finished doing this, this show. And she still hashtags cat tag, but she also says 9mag on there too. Okay. And also, what to say, send prayers out to Van and his and his family. Well, I know he was concerned about more so about being there for his daughter and provide for his family. And cousin Lady Mika has, first she had talked about it, but he's not officially saying, but indirectly saying it'll be his last post for a while. And this last post had a picture of him and his daughter. And he used to consistently post, but ever since a week before last, he has not done so. So sad to say that actually, I guess that it is true that he is going to have to serve prison time. So anyways, y'all, here's the whole thing. We have the reluctant thing where this Don and Charmaine situation keeps going on. She said they were looking for Van with them in New York. She takes Danielle to the side. Danielle's like, is you knocked up? Basically, she like, no. But here she has text message because she said something about they were looking for Van. Van was lost somewhere in New York, and they were going to find them. And there's somewhere, they were location in somebody's bed, and he was like about to get on top of her, seduce or whatever, was trying to kiss, and she like, no. And then he sent her a text with a frown face, because he was like, so we can't hook up. I can't get no more. I can't get no more. So we can't smash. And I'm like, then it's gonna carry the next episode in the previews. And like I said, Don needs anger management really bad. I don't know how many times you can go, but he needs the maximum. And they keep carrying this thing out. And even the fact that, even to a point, if you like, then after the way he acted and still doesn't have accountability, and we see how his temper is, I wouldn't even want to even go with him by myself after that, because he's still, even not just the fact of the night, it's just his anger problem with the whole issue, and it's trying to say Charmaine is at fault for fucking up his family to a certain extent. It's like, I wouldn't even go anywhere with him unless you want some, like, don't say, well, it could have went a total different opposite way, whatever. You could have got mad, y'all couldn't have had an argument, and who's there to blame? You realize it is caution tape around it. He may be fine with a package, but it is caution tape around that dude with certain stuff, whatever. Okay? So we got also here a thing and a part. Now, they show Ryan doing a tattoo of a young man comes in, and his grandmother defeated cancer. Thank you, Heavenly Father, Jesus, for that. And she was, hold the family together. And he got her, a Queen Nefertiti, at all times I heard that during name. Tattoo. And it was ill, of course. We all know Ryan. All those tattoo artists that are working on man are ill with their skills. Okay, so another thing that came up in this particular episode was Ford got a call from one of his brothers, who obviously they made sure to put on their half brother on the screen. I don't know if they even said half brother for Don, but you know how we all have heard this before. Occasionally, because like I said, I actually, y'all, and a lot of us, just in general, I don't know if you want to say us in general, but even I'm the last child on both sides. I'm the only child that my parents had together. But so technically, I only have half brothers and sisters, if you want to be down to the scientific thing, okay? But we all have the old saying. I know plenty of people who couples may have the same parents, and some of us don't have the same parents. And then you got the ones that's like, you only gonna kind of actually claim your mama's side because 9 times 10 you be around your mom's family more than you do your dad's family, which is unfortunate, but a lot of us be in that situation. And you gonna claim the mom's side, and then you won't really claim or really associate with the daddy's side too much, or little to none, or not as much you do to the side, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. But I just, with the fourth thing, I was like, I'm like, shoot, I can relate about the thing. I mean, my dad was there. I mean, the thing about, the siblings thing. But the issue was, he, unfortunately, not him, Four and Don also have two different fathers. But like I said, since they got the same mom, I could have sworn they don't say Don is his half brother. Like I said, it's the rule, y'all. Y'all ain't got the same daddy, whatever. I guess in certain situations, you don't have to claim the side. And it's so many times we heard and repeat. I'm sorry I'm ranting about a lot of us, who have problems with our fathers. And a lot of times they, and I've heard, I'm just saying from experience, outside looking in and knowing, my loved ones, whatever, who have went through that, where their father, unfortunately, turns out to be father, turns sperm donor, was a sperm donor, whatever. That type of unfortunate bullshit. So, anyways, y'all, in his case, but he had Don's father, and I think Don's or Forrest, I don't know. No, he said he didn't really too much know nothing about his family, period. I guess, obviously, this dude named Adam, so I don't know how much contact he's had with his brother from his dad's side, named Adam, right? He gets a call and says he's in Mississippi and his father is about to die. He's been in a coma, he's on his last days. And Four is thinking, like, would he do the same thing for me? And, like I said, I can understand from his angle, like, here's somebody who, you're a child, you want that love from both parents, and especially if, just certain issues that unfortunate where the child indirectly gets blamed or labels if indirectly unwanted. And it's sad, in that case, whereas last time he seen his dad was 7 years old. He one time had a memory with his dad, and then he never had seen him again anymore. So he ended up like just looking at him like, he should have been there. Who would say would have been there for me if I was on my dying bed? He'd never been in my life all of a sudden. So he's thinking about, why it's sad. He can't even really have emotions for his dad or have love for his dad. He's nothing more than a stranger. He has really no can't really recall about the last time he been with his father. And like I said, it's just so many times every day. Don was just saying like how it's just sad that his brother had to go through that. He didn't deserve that, And so, and maybe that's why Don is trying to make it work in his situation also too, because but what I understand, Don's father was there. Not just Don, but like I said before, and their other siblings. I mean, I don't know if there are other siblings, but the other siblings he was around, but he was at least around for 4. But at the same time, doesn't Don, I'm trying to start stuff, whatever, but when was his firstborn was CJ, what Ashley told us, whatever. So when did his other child come to be about? Was it after, okay, never mind. Okay, as long as he doing what he's supposed to do, sparring around that's them. Okay, and Ashley obviously accepts him back and just go from there. 4 ends up meeting Ashley, and it's basically he's trying to explain to her, how Don misses her and all this other stuff, whatever. And Ashley just doesn't know whatever she means. But not to stir the pot or anything, but do y'all really think? He does, like, he could at least stay, Don could at least been staying with Forrest's couch or whatever, or his place. But, would it be different if Don had his own, could just easily just, like, be somewhere else or whatever? But is he really trying to work it out with Ashley? Because, like I said, we had to go rewind back to first episode, because he was cheating. She was already like, you go to court to see your son, woo, 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 whatever, right? That's exactly what the hell she said. So, she's been with him 3 years and whatever. But like I said, I understand they're trying to make it work, but you have to be careful. Look at all the factors when you're trying to make it work for the child. And like I said, Don obviously has had a temper. Even Ashley said when she started taking the stuff out, when she I don't know how many weeks ago, whatever, months ago, she was like this. Oh, okay. You know what? You want me to call the police? Then he proceeded to exit out the door. So, and then they got issues where it's like he even admits when he was able to, he got the roses, bed come back, I miss my family, blah, blah, and sleeping less you, woo, woo, and all this other stuff. He admitted that even though he hopes it don't be the last fight, because we're going to fast forward, she thought about it then. I don't know who gave a key, or the mama said, here's my key, you can slip in there, whatever. He had his roses, best, Sunday's best shirt on, and just decided to sit there and plead with Ashley. And then they reconcile whatever at the moment, okay. Because she's like, you better show it and prove it, but you know, we also see he's still supposed, based on Charmaine's evidence, that she's still trying to get with her. And so, but she accepts him back, so they move him there. I heard, are they engaged now or whatever? Okay. But at the same time, he's like, he knows that even though he wants it to be that they don't have more fight, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to get another fight. And I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. That is so fucked up. So anyways, we go from basically that scene, whatever. Like I said, Ford decides to take Don with him before, you know, later on gets with Ashley. And he does decide to go and visit his dad. And he just wanted to say the last words to get off his chest. And I guess, because he's boys like this. I've been grieving, or like grieving, because he's never been there. And he just wanted to basically say his last words. Because he could have been really evil when he said the stuff. You know, he could have been like, fuck you, blah, 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 whatever. But consider the circumstances, because he didn't have to go down there. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't obligated. But he did go down there to, like, basically, like, you know, you're a stranger. I just wish you would have called. I wish you would have been there. Because he already was, like, possibly a little agitated where, you know, his family, his dad's side family, like, they're going to be like, oh, I remember you, and blah, blah, blah. And he, like, you know, they don't remember nothing about me because they didn't care to know nothing about me. I wasn't around my dad. And apparently, when he wasn't around his dad, because, you know, there are some cases, you know, sometimes there are families that even if the dad or the mom, and or unfortunate cases that both parents are not around, that still there are some chances that the dad's family members will still be around you. You know what I mean? So, but I think it was a couple of family members in there. I think from his dad's side, he was just talking, but he just talked and just letting him know, with Don standing by his side, like, he just wished he could have just been there for him. And he couldn't even have the ability to cry or whatever, but he just pays his last respects in the words. And I'm thinking, like, consider the circumstances. That was very big of him, as far a person to me, that he did that. Because like I said, he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Because some people been like, oh, whatever. Like, let him rest in peace, but I ain't got to be there. Why be concerned all this time? He never tried searching me. I don't know why, y'all, but personally, I thought, like, for a second, that it kind of, even though it's a totally different situation, like, so many years, the father comes back into life and whatever. And it could have been, you know, sad, but, you know, sometimes you don't get a chance to get the last words in. And what if he had a chance to say his words and his dad was able to speak to him and stuff, what it came about, or be about. I don't know if it's going to be like the situation like we've seen the last end of Black Ink Crew New York. And unfortunately, the sad scene of how Teddy's father had done him. And was kind of like, okay, it's your fault. You know, and that was just messed up. But anyways, or, you know, just hopefully you're able to move on, you know, peacefully as you can, to the best of your ability. But anyways, we have this other issue. Okay, we already went to the Ashley thing, blah, 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 Don, get back better, blah, blah, blah. Now we have this Cat situation and this Danielle Terrence situation. Danielle is admitting to also Charmaine in another later scene that her and Ryan watching some Disney movie. I don't know if it was Bambi. It's Frozen under Disney. Toy Story or something. And they had made out and kissed. And she said that's the furthest he went. And she also has been on and off again 8 years with her on and off again high school sweetheart. And basically, for what we see in the later scene, that he's been leading her ass on for a very ass long time. And even said, and still pending. You know, and I probably said in a couple reviews again, whatever. But you know, even as whether it's a friendship or a relationship as far as y'all a couple, y'all have kids together, and or have kids together, or even marriage, whatever. If y'all get married at a young age, or y'all friends at a young age, I'm not just saying any type of relation. You know, sometimes, y'all change when y'all get older as far as how y'all look at life and things. And sometimes y'all may be able to fill the storm and continue on, still be married or still be friends or whatever. And then people move away, and not even have to physically move away, but people move on. But Danielle said, ever since high school, y'all, 8 years later, that's the only man that she's ever been with. And Terrence has got her on hold. I like to say on hold because if she's willing to wait another during 4 years, and even the way she's saying it's like when she met him later on, because like I said, she was worried about telling Terrence because she feels couple-like. It seemed like just a situation. She's probably wishing it where it was, where the time she fell in love with him or had popped puppy love, whatever, and still wants to make it work it out with this dude who, like I said, apparently is basically like, well, I'll get serious when we're ready to get serious, whatever. Because then she said, I think that he cheated on her or something like that, whatever. But I'm just saying, he got her on one of those on hold. And I think, like, even though it's been like from high school, you know, like teenage years to like mid or to late 20s, whatever, by this time frame, if he was willing to be serious, it might be now, but it looks like he just got you on hold and just waiting on her, because he asked, like, you know, he even felt like, oh, you kissed somebody else, blah blah blah. And I know she asked him, and he said, I guess he's supposed to kiss. I don't know, you be sarcastic, but did he ever say that he slept with anybody else's own self? Do you think this Negro waited 8 years for you? I'm just saying this. Y'all been going on back and forth. I just don't want her to be that thing where she let the right one, there's only so many few that you're gonna have, and seldomly the right one get away because she's sitting here and tried to wait for him. You know what I mean? So, you know, wait for him. And he's still talking about, well, this might be another 4 years. And she's like, she don't know what to do. You know, like, that's like family to her. And it's like, I don't know what her situation is. I know Charmaine's family. I don't know if all their family is Chicago, nothing like that. You know, whatever. I know, like I said, Charmaine's from New Orleans. But I'm like, really? Really? Did he just say, like, he wants you to wait another 4 damn years? Who? Man, I would have snatched that. Oh, you enjoy the broccoli? Fuck you. But I'm just like, it wouldn't even be in the whole 8 years. You know, kind of like consider circumstances as they don't have children together. You know, I could see even like lingering on to like their late 20s or something like that or whatever. With teenage, you know, with teenage, I can understand certain situations even if they're married, but the fact is, it's on and off again stuff. Sweetie, it seemed like he has you on hold. You know what I'm saying? And you're just there. And like I said, don't let the right one get away, because I don't think he is the right one based on what I see. Maybe he's different, but he just lets you know he wants you on hold, on wait for 4 more years. I can't say nothing else. I'm like, I wish the okay, let's go to the next scene. So it's still pending about that situation. He felt some type of way about, you know, to a certain point, like, you kissed it. Why would she find out who it was? Like, who you work with? Like, what the hell? But also, too, Charmaine felt some type of way when she heard this information, because she's like, he had a problem with me and Don. Okay, yeah, Brian shouldn't have tried it where he made out with Danielle. Okay, maybe that's vindicated with, you know, the tongue thing. That's taking it far to this extent. But compared to her and Don, you know, I think they must have watched a Disney movie at another disco occasion, or maybe watched something on the iPad. I don't know where location that, but I don't know if it was at work. But we know, y'all, they were fucking on the job, okay? We could go on from there, and you know, some type of and other activities, because you know, oral sex is included, and whatever else they did. I'm just saying, finger popping as well. And she's trying to compare, yeah, you know, but we also see their little situation, at least where I know, stayed where Ryan and Danielle stayed there. This Don and Charmaine is a whole nother freaking darn ball game. How this is escalated damn near, and the damn season's about to go off in a minute. Okay, we're still stretching the same whole situation, okay? So, yeah. But the last part is this cat situation versus everybody, or everybody versus Kat and the other tattoo artist. And Danielle, when first in the beginning of the scene, everybody's talking about how Kat at the convention had the sign on their feet or whatever and all this other stuff, and then, felt like, okay, she was on some other stuff, whatever. And Danielle decides to tell her. Now, here's the thing where personally I would have dealt with it, considering how they are, and they've been around each other for a long minute. When you want to sit there and bring the issue to the table such as that, I would have, maybe brought up, well, if y'all feel that way, maybe y'all need to have a discussion with her. Right? Maybe you one-on-one, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell her, I'm thinking about telling her, I don't know if I should tell her, whatever, because y'all feel that type of way, that's something you need to talk about. Because Kat hasn't been back at the place since New York. Now, Ford did kind of spill the bean at least twice, that they hooked up or something like that. He said, but his loyalty is to Nine Mac. And it's just like, okay, that don't mean like you gotta sit there and take Kat's side all to the extreme. Like, you better not talk to her, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of like, it's their side versus Kat's side. But just like Daniel should be like, you know what, y'all need to talk about it. Maybe y'all should set up a meeting and talk woo woo woo, whatever. But when she told Kat about they talking smack, it's like you're saying, like, you're on your own stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Kat feels some type of way, and she got so upset, she thought, I wish I could smack them in the faces. They ain't nothing but holes and blah, blah, blah. So if she at least was going to still not warn them in advance, she going to tell her, she could have just told them in advance, like, oh, y'all, before y'all get some way, Kat might come here. I told her what y'all said, whatever y'all need to talk about, situation, blah, blah, blah. I'm just giving you one. Thank you. Let me go back to the desk. So how it turned out was Kat coming there one day, slamming her purse, and, coming in there, and they're like, hey, what, then she basically is like, confronted them, like, y'all got a problem with me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. First, they're like, no, we ain't got no problems. We ain't got no problems, whatever, right? And then it turned to a thing when they find me where she just like, this is about the convention. Okay, I'm not trying to be biased, but here's I'm looking for the thing. When they talk about loyalty and stuff, whatever, it's like, I understand they feel like she didn't represent them to a certain extent, but also looking like she tried to offer, they admitted that she tried to offer them a shot at this convention to go, chime in, and then they wanted to go, and then they felt some type of way where it's like, if we didn't want to support you, whatever, we wouldn't have been there. And then her van started getting, then she go back and forth with Ford just in the background like this. But we also have to look at it from this angle. Would Ford go do any of this? Now, Epic, which I hope if he stays independent, because how some of these record companies are now. If Ford was to leave, which she brought up at a point, like Ford was actually going to leave, he would give a tattooing. He would no longer be part of Nine Mag. Now, would that be losing loyalty? Okay, but you also look on the angle is, Kat was kind of like, well, the angle made it seem like Kat was based like this. What? They need me. I don't need them. I'm just saying, editing and stuff. Like I said, based on what I've seen on the gram, that they're cool. And she still works with them based on what I'm perceiving just recently, based on if you look on their, but kind of recently on their, on stuff. Okay? So, that it her van ended up like, she was all talking like, y'all this, that, this, and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they're like saying like, they helping, they made her, and that's what she was feeling with. She was like, God, maybe, y'all didn't make me. Then she got upset to a point where, y'all not my family, y'all not my real, but it's like she was being more technical. I'm like, okay, you don't have, I understand the fan part, but that's how the way sometimes Kat talk. Like, she gets termed like, biologically, scientifically, from this molecule into this DNA, but, she, like I said, didn't have to say certain stuff, and maybe it wouldn't explode, because it seemed to be a thing of miscommunication, first of all, about who looked out for who, which based on what it was supposed to be, like, all y'all posted up with each other, the loyalty thing, whatever, but like she said, y'all had the opportunity to go and work with me at the convention, y'all choose not to, and so I was like, fuck it, that was damn near a down payment on a car, that, on a used car, that she, paid, I think, to get at the convention. But at the same time, it's unless, because she felt offended, like, y'all didn't help me, and, she felt like, basically, like, they came looking for her, blah, blah, and we have to rewind that she admitted, when she was doing an ill-ass tat on the thigh, that she, even though she was a tattoo artist, she was kind of cyber stalking, like what Ryan's fan page or something like that, whatever, with his tattoo art or his website, trying to get in. And she admitted, like, eventually, over a year later, he had her hire work, but first he was brushing her off. So it's kind of like, the way it was seeming is that she was saying is that they came looking for her and not the other way around. Ryan came looking for her, not the other way around. And like I said, then it's like her Van getting, she was like, well, fuck you, bro, and I expected love from you in the show, but I don't feel love, blah, 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 and fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, it didn't have to go that far and that extreme, okay? And then she looked at Ford like, for him, well, like I said, maybe she shouldn't have gave it. She was possibly thinking she was going to be serious before, even though she knew him for a minute. She still could have, like, waited a second to, like, give him some, even though they said they just hooked up or had just a lovely time or just kissed each other to sleep. But okay. So, she looked at it, which was true. If she was expecting Ford to have her back, and he never did. And but we also, even though they're not together, like in an official relationship, but he did say in that lovely robe, the lovely white robes, matching white robes they had, that he was going to have her back. But we seen the episode after that kind of went down the drain even with that one. Okay, so like I said, I could go back, but I'm not taking each other's side. I'm just trying to see the pros and cons and all this stuff. And Van was just sick and tired of it, and he was just like, whatever. And she says, I need to talk to Ryan. And Ryan, here's the thing here. He was like, why you don't talk to other guys like blah, blah, blah. He talked to me, and she was like, you don't talk to me that way, blah, blah, blah. But I did know, pay attention, that he has not called, I don't think I ever heard Ryan call a female a bitch. At least to my knowledge. He cussed so damn much, he has anger problems, too, and has been an issue, but I don't recall, and I'm not trying to take side, I just don't remember. But she calls him a bitch. He acting like a bitch. You're a bitch. Ryan, I had to give Ryan credit consider the circumstances is he didn't go Incredible Hulk on us or Don when he gets mad. He just sounds like, what did you call me that for? And Van was just like, that is some bullshit, whatever. But he's like, ugh. And I think he eventually walked away and he tired of that shit, whatever, right? But she steadily just called him a bitch. And he's like, okay, that's uncalled for. I don't call you a bitch. Why are you calling me a bitch? And she steadily, how many times did she say, you're a bitch? Okay, and like I said, consider the circumstances. He, didn't have to like stick. Well, I hope he wouldn't be upset. But it was just like, did it take it that far? And like I said, would it be more justifiable if she called him a bitch if he called her a bitch? But like I said, he was like, I don't call you bitch. Why are you calling me a bitch? And she just kept saying, you're a bitch, bitch. I just think it would have been a better choice to call him an asshole. Maybe she wanted to test the waters and call him a dickhead. But I just felt like she didn't have to, personally, had to call him a bitch. Especially when it made it worse is that he didn't call her a bitch. Or a cunt. Or something along the lines. You know what I'm saying? You thought, or you damn, fucking trash. Just something that like crossed the line. I mean, he was cussing, blah, blah. I could talk to you every time I want. As soon as he said that comment, I could talk to you any fucking time. Wait, what? Like, Vegas be on the side of his head, like, Ryan, calm the fuck down. But, like I said, it got to him with call him bitch, whatever. And then it got to the point where it was just them just two together. Then she was like, calm down. It's like, what do you want me to do, Ryan? And, because she's like, now it's a business, whatever, and business. So Ryan's like, that what you feel? We're going to do business. That means that she cannot sit there and play Barry Bing Pong or Vodka Pong after they finish tattoos. Because she said this is a business. So I understand the point is family can grow and then people expand, especially that type of businesses, and may get their own booth or get their own shop or, start traveling the country or the world. But at the same time, it's just like the communication, how they talk to each other and how they look at things. She had this lord and they all end up saying when she was like, you say you didn't make, this and that, you coming at me. But they said we all helped and made each other. She's like, God said, God made me. Y'all didn't make me. Y'all ain't my brother. It's just like, y'all really, I'm like I said, I'm glad that at least for what I've seen, unless it's different, that they're cool. But I'm like, this was so unneeded. Y'all just up there need some Vicks or E-Colas or Ricolas and shit. And have to like drink some tea, whatever. Because all this unnecessary yelling, what did that prove? Seriously, what did that prove? So in the end, he's like, you want to keep the business? keep business while I keep your business. She's like, well, I want to leave. And he like, oh, if you want to leave, go right ahead. But he could have been like, seriously, been like, you can get the fuck out and blah, 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 and woo, 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 and take your shit and go. But actually, he wasn't like that. You see what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, it didn't have to go to that way. It did need to be addressed, but it didn't have to go where it's like, what, you got a problem, blah, blah. Well, you got a problem, blah, 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 fuck you, fuck you. What did we solve? Nothing. Just a yelling match. So I ain't on nobody else side. I'm just like I said, it just could have been diffused, you know what I'm saying, all together. But anyway, y'all, we'll see the fuckery next week. Y'all, I think, have a pleasant weekend, hugs and love, and I'll definitely see y'all in the next one. Okay, bye.